So, um, okay, so I know that we talked about this before, and I put Instagram post that I'm gonna bring my friends who have been on this journey, who have gone through H1B process or gone through interview process, and now they're working in a company and gone through applying to many companies. And today, one of my very good friend, he studied with me, and he was in Chico State. He's kind of junior to me, but he's like one semester junior to me, and he did his masters in Chico State for computer science, and then he worked like for a year or so in Chico, and then he applied to million companies, and then he went to, not literally million, but he applied to many companies, and then he finally got a job in San Diego, a big city, and now he's working as a software engineer. So I am super excited to share his his journey and his experience from India to software developer in San Diego in big company. And we'll go through all the questions you guys have sent me on Instagram. And if you want your questions to be answered, because I'm gonna bring a lot of my other friends who are working in same software industry and project manager and business analyst. So when I put it on Instagram, please send me your questions and we can answer those in this kind of video. So I'm gonna pull this camera over here. There.
Hey guys.
So here's Mohit, and of course we did this before, like 5-6 months before before even I started this channel, because you wanted me to practice it.
Yeah.
And we did this, and I never uploaded it, but now he's here for my wedding party, and he said that, I asked him, like, now that I have good audience, let's shoot this again, and I have more specific agenda for this video. So thank you for doing this.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. And I know we were talking this before we started this video, we were talking that a lot of questions which we saw is like on like nostalgia journey. We had similar kind of thought process, and now that we have gone through this whole process, we kind of feel like, oh, this is they are in the wrong path, and it's better to talk it out, and hopefully we can guide you to the right direction. So are you excited?
Yeah, let's get rolling.
Cool. So the way we're gonna do is I have a lot of questions on my phone from Instagram, but I'll ask that as soon as we proceed towards your journey. Like, we'll start with your first, like, before you came to United States.
Okay.
With your bachelor's, like, and then, come colleges you applied to, and your GRE score, and of course, he got scholarship, which I was super jealous about. But we'll talk about scholarship, and then your job interview experiences, application and all of that. So, and while we are talking, I'll go through the questions so that you can answer those while we are talking through it.
Okay.
All right. So the first one we'll start with is your bachelor's. I know that you didn't do your bachelor's in India.
Yeah.
Where did you do your bachelor's?
I actually got my undergrad from BITS Pilani in the Dubai campus. So I moved to Dubai in 2008. So 4 years I was away from home.
Yeah. And then how, after your bachelor's, did you have any work experience?
So while I was getting my bachelor's, somewhere around my second year, I taught myself how to make iPhone apps. And I launched a few apps, made some money out of that. And then I got into the startup craze.
Yeah.
Tried to do something on my own.
Right.
Some of it worked out, some of it didn't work out. When things didn't work out, I went and joined a German insurance company as an iOS developer. Worked for them about a year. And then after that, I was like, I want to know more about computer science. I want to dig deeper into how computers work. And that's when I decided to get my master's, and I came here.
So you finished your bachelor's, you came to India, and then you still did, like, how long were you in India for, like, at least a year?
I was in India for 3 years before I decided to get my master's.
Right. So you finished your bachelor's, you had a little bit of experience in Dubai, and then you came back. 3 years you started your own. You wanted to do your startup. You did that, and then you came to United States.
Yeah, I wanted to do a startup. I tried that. Worked for a German company, Allianz, and then started studying for GRE,
Right.
and came here in 2015.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be interesting because I think a lot of people also ask this, like, is work. People are gonna say that he had work experience, he had Dubai experience, so it's easy for him to get jobs, and you will see how easy was for him. So how do you remember how much you scored in GRE?
Yeah, I scored 310.
Three. Oh wow!
It's an okay score.
No, I mean it's great score. I scored 295. So you scored 310. Do you
Yeah.
remember how many colleges did you apply to?
I applied to about eight colleges, yeah, and I got offers from 3 colleges.
Do you remember those 3 colleges?
Yeah, I got Rochester Institute of Technology, UT Dallas, and CSU Chico.
And then why did you pick CSU Chico?
It was all about the money, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Rochester, they gave me a scholarship, but their scholarship was, I think it was only like 10 or 15%, but for the first semester only. UT Dallas, there was no scholarship, and Chico State they were giving me 50% scholarship.
Wow. Yeah.
So-
wasn't it all tuition fees, right?
So normally when you come to study here, your fees are divided into 2 parts.
Right.
One is your registration fee,
Yeah.
and then one is your tuition fee, which you pay depending on how many subjects you take in a semester. For me, Chico State decided to waive off the tuition fee,
That's
and I was
good.
only paying registration fees,
which is like
was
$4,000 something.
right, which
Yeah.
was like 50% of what people were paying.
Yeah.
And the best part is when I got an on-campus job,
Right.
I was making $3,000 a semester from my on-campus job. So
Wow.
actually, I paid only $1,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting topic
Yeah.
because a lot of people, I believe in what, we believe in similar things. A lot of people have this thing
Yeah.
of branding, top 100 colleges, top 10 colleges, and you
Yeah.
have to get, and then people kind of give up on their US dreams and all. And now that you had offers from RIT, UT, Dallas, which are also like better colleges than Chico State. Like Chico State wasn't as known as
Yeah.
RIT and UTD. That's a myth which I always wanted to tell them, that don't
Yeah.
focus so much on college ranking, focus on the location, focus
Yeah.
on just getting the best deal for your college.
I feel money definitely is a deciding factor for people.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, you're paying in dollars.
Yeah.
Another thing is, I want to tell people, everybody is going to teach you the same thing.
Right.
It's maybe the style of teaching is different. Maybe the electives that every college offers is different.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when you go apply for jobs, they all expect you to know the basics. Nobody is asking you questions on the electives you've studied.
Right.
Because when you apply for a job as a person who has a master's in computer science, all interviews are based on the basics.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
I don't think the college really matters. Yeah, you get the bragging rights. Oh my God, I'm from
USC,
USC,
UCLA, and all that. Yeah, I know. I'm making this video, which is like myth of college ranking,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm gonna talk about. And a lot of people are not gonna like it, but I want to share that. Don't just focus on college ranking. It has nothing to do with your jobs, and you have same access to the companies people apply from lower college ranking to higher college ranking.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, even if you feel the college that you eventually land up in is
Yeah.
not teaching you the course
Right.
you are interested in, there's an amazing free resource. It's called YouTube.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this is what you're seeing right now.
There's YouTube. Colleges like MIT have their open course
Yes. Yeah.
concept.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Take some time out.
Right.
I mean, you get 2 holidays a year. You get 2.5 months of summer. You get a month of winter. Go on these websites and learn what your college doesn't have the facilities to teach you.
Right.
So
I think that's so. I think we are moving on to the same direction, which I wanted you to talk about.
Yeah.
Is there's a lot of questions are revolving around. I'm gonna pull up one of the question which was asked by. Let me pull up that question. Yeah, so this was asked by Rohini.rj that how to sharpen our skills while studying MS to become a software developer in future. So it's similar what you're talking, like, while you're doing your MS,
Yeah.
what should they focus on to build skill set for software development?
The biggest thing for software development is data structures and algorithms. If you don't know that, it's going to be very difficult for you to get a job.
Yeah.
When you come to get a master's, you're going to learn so much more detailed stuff about how the operating system works, how the networking hardware works, how when you
Right.
want to communicate between computers, what system functions that you make calls to, and all of those things. But when you go to an interview,
Yeah.
nobody asks you that.
Right.
So programming is something. It's like exercising. You have to keep doing it to keep yourself fit.
Right.
And there's books available.
Yeah.
There's also websites. Like I practiced a lot on Lead Code.
I'll link that website down.
Yeah.
So they can see that.
So it's an amazing free website where they have programming questions put up, and you can just sit there and practice.
Yeah. And don't you have that scoring, like, even like a lot of companies send you to Lead Code to solve problems over there?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of companies, so the interview process is split into an initial phone screen and then an on-site interview. So a lot of companies will, even the phone screen depends from company to company. Sometimes you will be on the phone sitting with an interviewer,
Right.
and typing in code on a website, and they can, like Google Docs, they can actually see you type.
Yeah.
And they can assess what you're doing.
How your thought process is.
Yeah. Or there's companies who have tied up with websites like Lead Code, and they will set up a 1-hour test for you, which they'll send you a unique code, and you log in, and then you complete the test in 1 hour,
Right.
and they get the results.
Yeah. So let's track back. So masters, how was your masters, like, kind of difficulty of course level compared to, I mean, you didn't do your bachelor's in India, but you kind of have a gist of, how bachelors are done in India. How much difficult will it be for students coming from India to complete their courses in masters?
That's a very relative question to ask. It's not difficult.
Right.
I don't think it's difficult at all. It requires effort. That's the only thing I'm going to say.
Yeah.
If you come here with the attitude that 2 years you are going to give it your best shot, you are just going to put in effort, have fun. I'm not saying just sit and study 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But for those 6 days that you actually want to study, if you give in 5.5 days worth of effort, it's not difficult at all.
And it's interesting because a lot of my videos, I focus on hard work and talent and building skill set, because those are the things which are going to get you job, not your college ranking. And that's why I keep saying that, you can get job and you can get to where you want if you work hard enough and if you build your skill set to that job which you want to do. So that's on same topic. Now moving on to, you finished your bachelor, you finished your master's, and let's talk about, did you have internship during your master's?
Yes. So I had an on-campus job, which pretty much over here in the US counts as an internship.
Right.
But then towards my graduating semester, I landed a job with a local company in Chico. But since I was still in school, they agreed to give me that semester worth of an internship, and with the thing that once I graduate, it will convert to a full-time job.
Right.
So I had an internship.
How difficult was it for you to find that internship? Like, how many companies did you apply to get to that internship?
It's like you apply to 100 and probably 5 will get back to you.
Exactly what I say in all my videos. You apply to like 500, 450 will just send you automated rejection emails. And then 30 will send you that, we found a better candidate than you. And then like 20 will say, out of 20, 10 will say like, we don't sponsor visa.
What I find funny is, you go on LinkedIn, you go to job websites, they have a section for job requirements.
Yeah.
It will say 2 years of experience, C++, at least a bachelor's in computer science, at least this, at least that, and blah, blah, blah. And your resume has everything they say.
Right.
You apply to the job,
Yeah.
and probably a week, 10 days later, we found that your profile doesn't match our needs. I'm like,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, but trust me, it's all automated. It's crap.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. How was your interview experience for internship?
So the company that I got the internship at, it was a local company. It was a startup. It wasn't as rigorous as some of the big companies have it. It did start off with an initial phone screen, and the phone screen was more of an online 1 hour test I had to take on a website. It was basics of programming. Like, it was actually, from what I remember, all I had to do was reverse a string, but there were some added twists to just reversing a string. So questions like that.
Weren't you to ask the parking question too? What did you ask?
No, I wasn't asked the parking.
Up and up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's like, when you go to your bachelor's or master's or whatever, everybody teaches you how to reverse a string. Right? But in an interview, there will be those, what's it called in cricket, that googly shots, googly balls.
Yeah.
It's those googlies that you have to be prepared for. Right. Everybody knows what a stack is. Everybody knows what a queue is.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody knows binary tree and binary search tree.
Right.
But it's, how do you use these concepts that are taught to you into something more like real life? Or, that's what these interviews are all about. It's the googlies that come towards you.
Right. And now I'm gonna switch to some questions because I think it is related to what we are talking.
Yeah.
People are asking. So this question was asked by Artista. He's saying interview preparation and different materials. Where can we prepare? So I think he's asking what I'm understanding. Like, how do you prepare for interview, and like what are the different materials we should look for?
Lead code, definitely. I mean, so you have to solve as many problems as you can on that website. I wish I could get paid by lead code.
I know, we're promoting that website.
I know everybody.
This is not a paid promotion, by the way.
Yes, absolutely not. We're just doing this to help you guys.
Yeah.
And even offline, off camera, when some of my peers who are now at Chico State, when they call me, they talk to me and they want guidance. I'm like, dude, you have to go on that one website and practice. That's the only way.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna give you a quick. If you go to that website, you'll know what it is. But the lead code, it has number of problems.
Like 800 or so.
Yeah, 800 or so like questions, and it's basically programming question, algorithmic questions, and related to data structure. And those kind of questions will be asked to you by different companies you hire and different companies you go for interview, and some of them will not even interview before they will just give you that questions and tell you to solve that. If you solve it, then we'll think about an interview. So that is why he's focusing so much on lead code, and it is like absolutely necessity for computer science and developer positions.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the next one. This is interesting. Python or Java, which should I become best at? It's asked by Utkarsh Saraya. And then I think there are some more which are related to, let me, I'm trying to find that. What different programming languages. So it's basically what languages they should focus on. So I know this is your favorite.
This is absolutely my favorite question. Okay, first of all, when you graduate just straight out of school, no company expects you to be a master at a particular language. Right. There's a million languages out there. No company expects you to know everything. What they expect you to be a master of is programming, right? Because programming is an acquired skill. You have to develop that kind of thinking, that logical step-by-step thinking of how to approach and solve the problem. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you solve the problem in Python, JavaScript, C, C++, Objective-C, Swift, Pascal, Ruby. How many more languages? There's too many languages.
Yeah.
It does not matter. In fact, this is first-hand experience when I was applying to interviews. When you finally get a call from the recruiter, they're going to screen you just based on what kind of a person you are, and all those basic questions.
Right.
Finally, when the interviewer feels like you're worthy of an interview, the first question that comes to you is, what language do you want to interview in?
Yes, that's true.
Right?
That's true. Yes.
So, I mean, if all colleges are teaching you C, C++, at least C, C++,
and
Java,
some Java,
right?
Yeah.
Just tell them that.
Right.
And a lot of big companies, I don't want to name them on the video, when they hire fresh graduates, they have a 6-month training program.
Right.
So when you go into these big companies,
no matter what you learned, they're going to train you. And
they're still going to train you.
Yeah.
But what they want you to be a master of is the skill set of programming. They don't care what language.
And when you say programming, you mean problem solving, right?
Yes.
Right. Programming, because that's, again, the question is which programming language. So mainly problem solving. Like if you're giving a problem, like let's say you have 10 numbers of items, and you have to distribute it. What algorithm are you going to use to distribute that, and how efficient is it? So that kind of programming and problem solving he's talking about.
Yeah, like I'll give you a simple example. Like you have a singly linked list, and you only have a pointer to the head, and you have to find the element in the middle of the linked list. Right. Now you have to start questioning yourself. Do you know the length of the linked list?
Yeah.
More often than not, you don't know the length of the linked list, right? A linked list is very basic. You just have a pointer to the head, and then the whole list is connected. So how to build a linked list? The steps to build a linked list are same in no matter what language you choose. Can you identify the steps is what they're trying to see.
Right.
Yeah. How to find the middle element in a linked list is the syntax is going to vary from language to language.
Yeah.
But the process to do it is exactly the same.
Right. In the other thing which I also want to add to this is that they're not looking for right answer. They're looking for how you're trying to solve the problem. They're trying to see how your thought process is while you're solving that problem. Like if you're asking questions, if you need more information, because that's the job of software developer. It's not when you work as a software developer, you're not going to know every single thing for requirement. You will be given, this is the tech spec, give me this thing. Then he's going to ask, like, what's the business requirement? How do I develop this? Like those questions, that's what interviewers are trying to understand. Do you have that ability to ask questions? Do you have that ability to solve problems? That thought process is what they're looking for more.
Right. So coming back to that linked list question, the interviewers will just say, given a linked list, we want to find the middle element. Then you have to start coming up with questions. Well, okay, do I only have a pointer to the head, or do I also have a pointer to the tail?
Right.
Do I is the linked list completely object oriented, and is there a data member available for the length? You have to ask these questions to the interviewer because they're trying to assess your abilities to understand a problem.
Right.
That's what they want to know.
Right.
And obviously it is, even though you know the answer that the pointer to the tail is not given, you should still ask them because they want to see your questioning abilities.
Yeah. All right. So this is going to be also, this is my favorite one. How to get developer job role in product-based companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, etc. We are laughing because he has applied to all these companies. He has given interviews to those companies. So this is going to be interesting. I'm also excited to see
how to
spirit crusher.
Yeah, man. So it takes me to the phase where I went down slope, and then you hit rock bottom, and then you realize that it's well. Anyways, how do you go about these things? First, work on yourself. First-hand experience. This is the mistake that I made, and now I realize it. And in the future, I'm going to change my attitude a little towards how to approach it. First is prepare, then apply for the interview. What I have done in the past is I've applied for an interview,
and then prepare.
I've gotten an interview call, I've cleared the phone screen, I've made it to on-site, And then in that period, I've gone to lead code and prepared, which is not enough, because then there's that added pressure that, oh man, I have an interview in 10 days. I have to solve like 100 problems on lead code so I can crack the interview. It does not happen like that.
Right.
Right from day one, start practicing and then apply for the interview.
Right.
Once you're there, you'll crack it.
Yeah, and what kind of questions do they ask? I know for the phone screening, they probably just like general, like tell me something about yourself and all that.
So that's only like 5 minutes of the phone screen.
Right.
So the recruiter will ask you, tell me about yourself. What is your favorite subject in school, and things like that. If he or she thinks that you're a good candidate, then you're passed on to a technical interviewer who will do the phone screen. Phone screen questions will be a little easy because it's not face-to-face communication, it's over the phone. So it'll be a little easy, but if once you solve and crack that problem, you are brought on for an on-site interview. The process, how do you apply? First, for me, LinkedIn. All my job search, everything starts on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Just go and search for recruiters at a company that you are interested in. Send them an in-mail. If you can't send an in-mail, I would suggest investing that $35 on a LinkedIn premium account.
Exactly.
Because that gives you 4 or 5 in-mail credits a month.
15
Oh, it's 15? Okay. Send them an in-mail. They will reply to you, because recruiters are different from HR. The job of a recruiter is to go and get people and talk to people.
Right.
The job of an HR is just to make sure like you're treated well and you're not messing around in
all
the
the policies and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So recruiters have to respond back to you. That's their job. And you can ask them that you can tell them what you're interested in. If they are not recruiting for that subset of technology that you're interested in, they will get you connected to their colleague who is recruiting for that team or for that subset.
Right.
So you have to reach out. You can't be sitting at home and be like, people will come to me.
Right.
No one's going to come to you.
Yeah, and I've mentioned this in one of my other video, which is things to do, and LinkedIn. I've talked about LinkedIn a lot. Again, we're promoting LinkedIn. We should get paid for that too.
I know.
But this LinkedIn is like key recruiters. I have friends, recruiters. He has another friend who's a recruiter. They spend their out of 8 hours, 6 hours they just spend in LinkedIn. They just look at profiles every single day. So if you don't have LinkedIn, go and create LinkedIn. And if you have LinkedIn already, then look up different profiles, job positions, and responsibilities, and what they are asking for. Okay, moving on to, I know we are running out of time, so moving on to the other question. This is similar to, a lot of people have asked this question. Monish Kambati has asked this, is working in software industry stressful? Then the other Vartika 027 asked, how stressful is work environment in USA for a developer comparison to India? Mm-hmm. And then there's one more guy, he asked about stress too, so I'm gonna ask him. Puneet HRS asked, does he feel too burned out when issues arise from site? Does he get call at night, weekends, and holidays suddenly to fix issues? Does he feel that his position is different or hectic compared to other software role in his company? So all related to stress.
Stress, of course.
Oh, sorry, the video stopped because we moved on to 29 minutes. So go ahead.
Okay.
So the question, I don't know when it was stopped, but all the questions which were asked was related to stress, like if he's burned out and how stressful is the work environment for software developer and all of that. So go ahead.
Stress, of course. There is stress. You have to learn to deal with it. There was a question in there which is like, do I get late night calls and this and that? Well, it really depends from company to company. Mm-hmm. Again, I am not in any kind of support position where I can get a call at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and take it. But the company that I work for is headquartered in Netherlands. So this past week, I had to wake up at 7 in the morning for a meeting because it was like whatever time it was in the Netherlands for them to, So when you're working with a company that is spread out across the world, and if there's a meeting scheduled, you have to take it.
Yeah.
But again, these meetings are not every day.
Right.
If one day in a week, if you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so
That's
what?
fine.
That's life.
Yeah.
You know, stress at work. Yes, there is stress because right now I work as a software engineer, so I'm at the lowest level of the ladder. It all starts off the rankings. The hierarchy is the people who run the business decide what features they want. Then it comes down to an architect who will assess the entire product that the company has and decide how to fit in this new feature into that. Then it comes down to team lead who will allocate resources and tell which engineer what work he has to do. So by the time things come from the top to bottom, there's a lot of time that has already been elapsed. Right. So what happens is, since you're at the lowest level of the ladder, you're given very little time to finish your job.
Yeah.
But people above you have taken all the time.
Right.
That happens everywhere. It's human nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to deal with that stress.
Right.
And it's really not that bad. I mean, everybody understands you're a human.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also, like, if you really like what you do,
I love programming.
Right. So you might not find it as stressful as it is. Some days will be stressful regardless of how much you love your job, just because you have to get things done. But again, every day is not going to be like stressful day. Every day is going to be like you enjoy what you do, and then some days will be ups and downs. So I hope we answered that question. So someone asked a salary question, which I think we should talk to. Is like, how much does your friend make? You don't have to answer that, but can you give a salary range, and what's the growth rate for software developer?
Okay. Salary, of course, depends a lot of location. When I was in Chico, what I started off was 5 digits, but close to 6 digits.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to San Diego, I definitely crossed the 6 digits barrier.
So just giving you a salary range, if you're like in small cities, I've said it in many videos, like anywhere from 70 to 85 is what you're gonna make. And then, if you're in big cities like San Diego, San Francisco, LA, there's high chances that you'll probably make about 100,000.
So the cost of living in San Diego is not as high as the Bay Area,
right,
or even LA. You might get a $150,000 job in the Bay Area, but for the same position, you're not going to get 150,000 in San Diego, but you will get over 100,000.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then just last few questions. Difficulty in finding job. So Kumar.world knows is asking difficulty in finding job in India versus USA pattern and competition. It kind of answered that question.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Difficulty in finding a job. I mean,
compared to India, I don't know how easy it is. It was.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. but I got placed through campus, and there's no campus placement in America. That's one of the biggest difficulty. So, this is something also. What are the trending certification that I should do to get a good job or internship? Asked by Shubham Dubey.
Trending certifications, again another interesting question.
Yeah.
See, if you want to, depends on what kind of job you want. If you want to be a software engineer, you don't need any certifications. I'm going to stress again, you should be a good programmer. Language doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't take more than 4 hours to learn a new language. If you know how to program, if you know how to break a problem down into steps, that's fine. When do certifications come into the picture? It's like, suppose you want to specialize in AWS.
Right. I was going to just say that.
Like cloud computing, and specialize in AWS, for example.
Yeah.
No college teaches you. I don't think any school has a course in AWS certification or anything.
There might be, but
none that I know of.
Right.
If you want to do that, then yes, you need an AWS certification, and I think Amazon for sure will have a certification course.
Even Android, Google has Android certification if you want to be an Android developer,
which is really not. I was an iOS developer. I don't think a certification is needed in mobile development.
I think so I'm just jumping in. This conversation. I think if you have things to show to recruiters or your manager, that's gonna be much more impressive than a certification.
Yeah.
Like if you have apps on app stores, if you have code on
Absolutely.
GitHub, then that's gonna be like you have done things, you have got things done into real world,
Yeah.
rather than I just have a certificate. Because anyone can get certificate. It's easy to get certification than to make product.
So when I got my first job as an iOS developer, it was on the sole basis that I had 5 apps already on the App Store. So that kind of gave the company a sense that, okay, this guy he knows how to make apps. He's experienced on how to make apps. So it was an easy interview also, based on, and those apps were all my apps. It was all personal stuff that I wanted to portray and show my skills, like a portfolio online. Coming back to certifications, again, what kind of jobs you want. If you want a job in network security and stuff, then you're going to need a Cisco certification.
Right.
If you want a job as a software engineer, please do not bother getting a certification in Java or Python or C++. I think in India, people are selling certifications.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Happiness and peace. One. What skills are essential to be a software developer? Like which languages? Like, is there any prerequisite? I think we answered that already. So
language doesn't matter.
Yeah. Myself, Nick is asking which course is good for CS students who's gonna pursue masters in US, and or what courses you must learn before enrolling in masters in CS computer science, so it will be an advantage. I guess we kind of answer, and then if your college has, in Chico State we didn't really have that much of elective options. We had pretty much like out of 10 we had to do 10 classes, and out of 10 classes and 10 subjects, 7 or 8 were pretty much compulsory, and then 2 or 3 were mandatory. And I know you did like something different than everybody else took. So
I took an advanced course on compiler design.
So it's totally up to what you want to do, where you want to get into. So depending on that, you can choose what courses. So I think that's pretty much it for all the questions we received. I mean, there are more, but it's all very similar. I think on like an ending note, because I know a lot of people are gonna ask this in comments probably, that since you had Dubai experience and then as a startup developer and 5 apps, did that any of that was like advantage to finding a job?
I would say the only thing that helped me find a job were those 5 apps that I built for myself, because it shows self-initiative to the companies.
Yes.
It shows that you want to do something different. You want to do something by yourself. You're not just one of those, we go to college, we study for test, we study for exam, we get 80%, 90%.
And then
it's just like what they're looking for is that your ability to like just step out, take one step different from the rest of the people.
Yeah.
Just that one step different from what others would do.
And that'll make you stand out.
Yeah.
And this is kind of reaching to our end. Like, is there any advice which you would give to students who are either coming to United States or are still studying for their computer science program and wanting to pursue, jobs or anything?
The only thing I'll say is it's not easy. There are jobs available. I'm not saying there's no jobs.
Yeah, there are plenty of jobs.
There's plenty of jobs available, but it's not easy, and that's for the right reasons.
Right.
Because if it was easy, then companies wouldn't be getting qualified candidates. Right. You have to put in the hard work. You can't sit back and relax and enjoy for the 2 years or 1.5 years. You come here to get your master's. It's constant hard work. Don't think about improving your grades. Think about improving your skills. That's all you need. Honestly, I have a very high GPA, but no one cares. At my current job, nobody cares what my GPA was. They all care about
what's your
if
skills.
My code is clean and testable or not. That's
Exactly. And that's just I wanted to end this video on that topic, that don't focus too much on college ranking and GPA. GPA is good to have. I mean, I think it's definitely. We are not recommending that get low GPA. Definitely have good GPA, but don't stop yourself if you have low college ranking. Admit then it's okay, because that's not what company's gonna look for.
Yeah.
They're gonna look for what you have in you. So if you have something special, you're gonna get jobs. So just keep working hard, and that's my sign of style on the video is like we say keep smiling, keep hustling. So do you want to see that?
Keep smiling and keep hustling. You're gonna make it.
Yep.